Hello everyone, I'm Anna and welcome to the channel. Since Inktober can be a little boring when you're just drawing the same things, I thought with this picture I would challenge myself to experiment with lighting some more. I don't think I'm that good with lighting. I think it could be a lot better, especially when I'm doing traditional pieces. When I'm doing digital, I feel like I'm able to capture the lighting I want more. So I thought I'd experiment with doing it with black inks. It's a lot easier to build up the tones, as I've been saying in the last two videos. This piece is a continuation of the series I've been building over the last 2 days, although it does feature a different character. The character from the last two illustrations is some sort of princess, I think. I believe that the direction seems to be that she's sort of a warrior princess that's like charged with defending her kingdom. This is a different character. She's more of a invader type character. I think she's on the edge of this princess's realm. So I think the princess's realm is a very bright, light place. I feel like the two illustrations I've done with this princess character seem quite happy and cheery, even if yesterday she looked a little bit more serious. I think this picture is very much more of a darker edge. It's more like this character is coming out of the darker surrounding kingdoms into this really nice kingdom that the princess looks after. I think her expression, it looks very determined, like she has a ulterior motive about being in the princess's land. I'm not too sure she's even meant to be in this realm, or if she's sneaking in through the dark. As you can see, there's going to be a light streaming onto the character in this picture's face. That's to demonstrate that she's walking out of the darkness into the lightness of the princess's realm. I'm really trying to work on the backstory of these pieces for Inktober, because as I've said, last year's Inktober pieces, my main problem was the fact that they weren't cohesive. They kind of look like just a jumble of illustrations. I want at least some of these illustrations this year to look like they belong together, with a nice backstory and storyline that continues throughout them. This piece involved a lot of layering. I think I repainted the background like a few times, maybe 4 or 5. I don't put every round in this filming because I thought it would be a little bit boring to watch the same process again and again and again. But I really wanted the darker tones to shine through, and obviously with ink you do tend to layer a lot more because it's just so much easier to layer. I am happy with how this piece turned out though, so I guess all the work I put in was worth it. I also wanted a bit of contrast to my previous two pieces. That girl was obviously a lot lighter hair, there's a lot more of lighter tones to the overall pictures, whereas this one is significantly darker, like even her hair is black and the background is a very dark blackish grey. I think the contrast really makes this picture look more interesting in the series so far. It was rather scary painting over her face with the ink. I did dab a lot of it off because I didn't want it to be too dark over her face. When you obviously are used to colouring the face in skin tones, it's very scary to just put a line of dark grey over the top. The lighting piece of this piece was probably actually the most intimidating thing because of the direct lines showing where the lighter bits were. Obviously I was having to drag a load of dark ink over half the things I just worked on. The great thing about ink is though that it's waterproof, this one is, so any of the layers I've painted before weren't getting reworked in, they were staying put. It was still nerve-wracking putting down this very permanent medium over the top of all the work I'd just been working on. I think what I like most about the ink for this picture is the fact that it's permanent and waterproof. So like, I coloured her hair obviously a base colour and then put in the details at the top, and then would later go back over that detail with more colour. And because the lines stay put, it's really handy because then you can put down detail and know it's not going to move. That detail's not going to get smudged or re-wet like it would in watercolour. It keeps it very permanent and fixed to the page, so you can continue to layer with a bit of security that your lines aren't just going to fade away and all that work's going to disappear. There's also a bit of background in this picture. I did a couple of bushes in front of her in the foreground and a couple in the background, just to add a bit of dimension to the piece, because otherwise it kind of looked like she's just standing in this black background with this weird light shining on her. Later on I do go in and add some branches over the top to give the illusion of more of a foresty dark feel. I don't know if that comes out that well, but I still like how it looks. But I thought the bushes would really tie the whole piece together, make it look more dynamic and more interesting. And I really wanted a colour in a background since the last two pieces I've worked on don't have a background, and I really wanted to experiment with a little bit of it. Maybe in future Inktober pieces I'll do a little bit more of a background since this one's rather tame. For this picture, I decided not to include any burst of colours like I have for the last two illustrations. Her eyes are just coloured in with the ink. I did intend to give her blue eyes in my original ideas, but when I came to paint it, I just thought I liked the black effect a lot more with all the darkness. I didn't really want the eye to be drawn into anything but the lighter grey light areas. and I think it was a good decision. I think colour burst would have distracted from the image too much, and also I think it adds a little bit of mystery to this character I'm drawing. I like the more darker look to her, and it kind of gives a nice contrast yet again between her and the princess character. That being said, if I draw this kind of character again, she might end up having colour dyes depending on the illustration. It's been my goal with this Inktober to push myself obviously with colour, using just black, grey and white, and obviously I also wanted to focus on lighting. I feel like my shading and lighting and shines and stuff could do with a lot more work, and in working with just one colour with different variations of that colour, it's really an easy opportunity to experiment with lighting. This one's gone quite well, so I might do something similar in the future, because I quite enjoyed doing all the layering, even though it was kind of tedious just repainting the same thing over and over again. But it really gave me an idea of how much depth you can get with the ink. I think this is my favourite Inktober piece so far, although it's only day 3, so that might be a little premature to say. Anyway, it's about the end of the video now. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again for tomorrow's video. Bye!